Good morning, welcome back to another reading vlog. I feel like it's been a couple of months since we've done a vlog that was just reading. But for those who don't know, I'm not currently on a writing deadline because I'm still waiting to get my manuscript back from my editor. So I have about 2-ish weeks where I have a lot more free time in the mornings to get through my physical TBR, which is my goal for the year. So currently we are reading 3 different books, which I do not recommend, but I have to say it does feel productive because we've made some decent progress in all of them. Obviously I watch a lot of booktubers and bookish videos on YouTube, and I really like watching the videos where people read books until they get a 5-star book. So I got a couple of 5-star reads last year. I haven't gotten any 5-star reads this year so far, but it's still early stages, you know, anything is possible. I think for me a 5-star read is something that, one, it needs to give you that 5-star feeling, like when you know, you know. And then I think I need to enjoy the plot of the story, like there wouldn't be anything major about the plot that I would want to change. I also really need to enjoy the characters as well as the writing style. Like the writing style needs to be really engaging for me, or just something that I think, you know, flows really well. It's like it's descriptive but it's not too lengthy, if that makes sense, which I feel like might be one of the hardest ones to get right, because writing styles vary so much and it's such a subjective thing. Like you might absolutely adore one person's writing style and then completely dislike someone else's, and it doesn't necessarily make the story bad, it's just the way that they are writing it. But yeah, let's talk about the 3 books that I'm currently reading and how I'm feeling about them. First book we've got is Brooklyn. I spoke about this one in my last video, so I won't get into too much detail, but if you haven't read this, I highly recommend you watch the movie. It's really good. I started rewatching it again since I've been reading the book. It's quite a short book. It's only about 250 pages. I'm on page 240, so we're almost done, but it's about a girl who comes from Ireland and then she moves to Brooklyn in the 1950s to start a new life there and a new career, and she meets someone and falls in love, but obviously she still has a life and family back home and her trying to navigate this. It's definitely shorter than I was expecting. Like I'm enjoying the writing style, but I wouldn't have minded more description, especially when it comes to her relationship. Like I would have liked a little bit more detail, but overall the story is such a good story. Like I've just enjoyed this book so much up until this point. It's one of those enjoyable reads where you're just like, you're reading a book, you're not thinking about it too much, it's just nice. And I've been listening to the audiobook of The Age of Innocence, which is a classic. I've watched the movie many years ago, and I actually might consider watching it again. I don't know, I really enjoy watching a TV series, or I feel like mostly a movie, but sometimes a TV series, whilst I'm also reading the book, or maybe, you know, before or after I'm reading the book, especially when it comes to classics. It's just a nice way for me to visualize what I'm reading. So I wouldn't say this is one of my favorite classics that I've read. I am forever gonna be an Austen girly. I don't think that is likely to change anytime soon. Obviously there have been quite a few other classics that I've really enjoyed as well, but you know, it's not giving me 5-star feels yet, but we're still going to finish this because I'm only about 3/4 of the way through, not even quite 3/4 of the way through yet. Like between halfway and 3/4 of the way through this one. And then last but not least, on my Kindle I'm reading Saving Six, which is the 3rd book in the Boys of Tommen series, which I started reading it was either, I think it was beginning of this year. Yeah, in the beginning of this year, and I'm very much invested in the series now. So I'm about 300 pages into the book. I think it's just over 400-ish pages. So there you have it. That is what I am currently reading. I think I'm gonna go and make some iced coffee because it is really hot, and then I'm gonna come back and we will finish reading Brooklyn. is now a good few hours later. I just got home from work and I'm on page 425 of about 500 pages, but my Kindle's battery is not gonna last much longer, so I'm gonna read for a bit and then go downstairs and make some dinner, and then we'll see how far we get with Saving 6. I feel like I can finish it by tomorrow. Like it reads relatively fast despite being 500 pages. So I feel like by tomorrow we'll start with, or at least we'll finish the book. I don't know if it's a 5-star though, but I will chat about that once the book is finished. So good morning, happy Friday. I'm so excited that it is finally weekend. Also, it is officially Froyo Friday because I've started a new tradition. Actually, no, I didn't start this. Someone that I watch on YouTube started a tradition with their friends where on Friday evenings they go out to get frozen yogurt, and I thought that this was a genius idea. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna go and get frozen yogurt specifically because we don't have like a frozen yogurt. We don't have a lot of frozen yogurt places where I live. We have one that's relatively close to my house, but they're also ridiculously expensive. So maybe we should just get ice cream. I don't know. I don't know if you can tell. I rearranged my room a little bit. I bought a new lamp because we had the big lamp in the corner, which I have been wanting to change for a while now. So I got this lamp, which I thought was really cute, but I need to go and get a light bulb for it. But yeah, I switched it so that the bedside table is now on that side, and then the reading chair is on that side. I don't know how I feel about it yet. It might work, it might not. We'll see. My plan for the rest of the morning before I head over to work is to go and sit and read in a coffee shop. I don't think I've gone to a coffee shop with the sole purpose of drinking a coffee and reading in the longest time. Like, I can't remember the last time I did that. I'm on page 473, so I only have about 26-ish pages to go, which is actually not that much. So I'm contemplating, should I take my next book with me? Because I feel like I want to sit there for at least like a proper, I don't know, maybe like 40 minutes to an hour to make it worth it. Yeah, we'll get a light bulb for the new lamp. We'll have a nice coffee shop reading session. Like I said, I'll probably end up finishing Saving 6 so we can start with our next book, which I'm really excited for. I forgot to mention I'm still listening to the audiobook of The Age of Innocence. I've just reached chapter 29, which is page 237. There's honestly not that much left. I feel like we can finish this within the next couple of days. But then the next book I'm reading, I feel like this is by now such a popular book within the book talk community and also beyond that. And so when I saw it at the secondhand bookstore a couple of months ago, I was like, immediate purchase, because everyone, and I mean every single person that has read this book has either given it a really good review or 5 stars. Like any booktuber or book talk, bookstagram, everyone that I've seen that has read this book, at least that I've seen, has given it like 5 stars or just really good reviews, and that is The Nightingale by Kristen Hannah. I have high expectations for this one, purely based on what other people have been saying about this book. I feel like potentially this could be our 5-star read. I've not read a Kristen Hannah book before, so I'm really excited to get into her books because I feel like she's become such a well-known author. and everyone just keeps saying that her books are really, really good. I think this is a great place to start. It's a story about what it's like to be a woman during World War II. And the thing is, I'm such a history girly, if you don't know me. I love anything to do with history, like films, documentaries, books. So I love myself a good historical fiction, especially when it's based on this time period. And I'd say in the last year or so, my interest in the World War II period, or in World War II, has grown so much, up to the point where I'm actually considering eventually, not now, but eventually, I have this idea for a book that I want to write that takes place during World War II, which I'm really excited about. So maybe, you know, Kristin Hannah can be my inspiration for my World War II book that I'm going to write someday. I've also seen that everyone who's read this book has also cried. So I feel like she's going to be an emotional one, but I'm there for it. I'm wondering, should I rather take The Age of Innocence with me and just finish reading that so we can tick it off the list? Because I feel like this is not giving me 5 stars either. I mean, these are all enjoyable reads that I'm currently reading. Like, I'm enjoying myself reading these books, but they're not giving 5 stars. So maybe we should wrap them all up and then we'll get to The Nightingale, which I feel like she's got the potential to be a 5-star read. Maybe let's do that. I'm gonna put on my shoes, pack my book bag, and then we'll hit the road. He looks so disgusted that I came and sat next to him. Okay, so I just got back from a little outing, got a light bulb. This is gonna sound ridiculously stupid, but I've never changed a light bulb before, and I'm not really sure if I know how to do it. I mean, I'm assuming you just twist it in, right? Let's talk about this book because I have some thoughts, I have some feelings. So I'm 162 pages in. I'm about to start chapter 16. So far, I have to say, I'm really enjoying Kristin Hannah's writing style. It's just descriptive enough to get you really invested in the story that she's telling, but also gives you a really clear picture of the world that these characters are living in, as well as the emotions that they're going through. And I definitely admire her writing style a lot. So now that we're like 15, 16 chapters in, it feels like the story is really starting to pick up and the stakes are a little bit higher. I'm not 100% sure where exactly the story is going yet. I haven't really been able to figure out what's gonna happen or where this is gonna go, but I am having a good time. I'm really enjoying this. I don't know if it's a 5-star reader yet, but it's definitely a solid contender for 5 stars. It's definitely a bit of a more like heavier emotional read, which is completely understandable considering the time period and the things that these characters are going through. It's not very lighthearted, but it is some good writing. I don't want to get my expectations up too high. My expectations are very high at the moment, purely based on other people's opinions about this book, especially around the ending. So I feel like in my mind, I have a very high expectation of how this is going to end. Either way, I feel like it's going to be good or like heart-wrenching. I don't know, but it's going to be something, and I'm excited to see how the story is going to unfold. I'm on chapter 26, which is page 296. So we only have about 150 pages left of this book. I am slightly traumatized. It's not getting better, which obviously understandable, completely realistic based on what was happening during that time. For a second there, I thought the story might be going in a specific direction, and it kind of alluded to it going into that direction. And then last night whilst I was reading, it was just like, bam, no, actually the opposite is going to happen. I've not comprehended that yet. So far it's a really good book. I'm enjoying the story, but it's not an easy read. The characters are really going through it. But I think Kristen Hanna's talent is being able to write these events that are so, I don't know, like the time was filled with so much fear and sorrow and pain and heartbreak and so many other horrible things, and being able to put that into words accurately enough that the reader actually feels what the character is going through. I think it's really good. I want to finish this today. I might be able to finish it. I don't think I'll finish it this morning, but I might be able to finish it after work this evening. So that's gonna be our plan. I'm gonna have a nice long reading session now, and then hopefully another one after work, and then we should be finished with this one. It's a heavy read, but it's a good read. I'm emotionally traumatized, but I'm having a hard time putting the book down. It's a good story. I'm still terrified of the ending because, I don't know, I feel like it's not gonna go well. It's gonna take me a while to process that. That was a lot. I'm not okay. It is now the next morning. I finished this last night and I wasn't ready to, I hadn't processed it. I don't think I've processed it now yet. I don't know, it was a lot. It was a lot. Did I shed a few rebel tears? Absolutely. Did it break my heart? Yes, it did. Is Kristen Hanna a really good writer? Yes. Yes, she is. I think what's hard for me about this book is, for me, like a 5-star book is when it's giving, you know, those 5-star feelings, but I think a lot of the time a book deserves 5 stars for different reasons, you know, like it's not necessarily a fun read. Like this was really hard to get through. Like I said, it's a really difficult period in time, and the things that people went through, because like obviously this is fiction, but it's based on real things that real people went through, and just the way that Kristen Hannah writes about it, it really hits you like right in the chest. I feel like just for her storytelling, like the way that she writes a story, the way that she writes about characters, it's a slow build up, but by the end you feel very connected. And yeah, it's just, she's a really good writer. Her writing style is just really, really good. And like, I didn't enjoy the process of going through all this anguish, but I enjoyed reading this book. It's a good book. I would recommend. And I also want to definitely read more of her books in the future. Technically, this is a 5-star, but for different reasons than what I would usually give as a 5-star. And also, I annotated quite a bit. There's some really beautiful lines in this book, and like I said, it just really, like, it was all the feels. There was so many feels. But yeah, thank you for watching another reading vlog. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!